He's been appealing for reinforcements since the start of the invasion. And the Pentagon confirmed late Tuesday that the fighter planes and spare parts long requested by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky have been delivered, but declined to comment on the quantity or origins.
I would just say, without getting into what other nations are providing, that they have received additional platforms and parts to be able to increase their fleet size, their aircraft fleet size. We certainly have helped with the transshipment of some additional spare parts that have helped with their aircraft needs, but we have not transported whole aircraft.
Despite not naming any donor countries or details, it suggested that the equipment involves MiG-29 aircraft, after Kyiv asked its Western allies for help providing Russian-made planes that its pilots already know how to operate, and that a smattering of Eastern European countries already have.
Russia's defense ministry says it has successfully completed a test of a new intercontinental ballistic missile. The launch took place in northwestern Russia, close to the Finnish border. It hit its target in the Kamchatka Peninsula, east of Japan. Called the Sarmat, the long-range weapon has been in development for several years. Russian officials say it can defeat existing missile defense systems. U.S. defense officials said Russia gave advanced warning of the test and did not consider it a threat to the United States. Russian President Vladimir Putin, however, framed the test as a warning.
This truly unique weapon will enhance the military potential of our armed forces. It will reliably provide security for Russia from external threats and will make those who, in the heat of frantic aggressive rhetoric, try to threaten our country, think twice.
Italy on Wednesday signed a deal with Angola to ramp up gas supplies from the southern African country. It builds on recent deals with Algeria and Egypt and comes amid a scramble by European countries to secure alternatives to Russian supplies amid the war in Ukraine. Italy currently gets about 40% of its gas from Russia, and the foreign minister has acted quickly to try to replace that supply with flows from elsewhere since President Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine in February.
Wimbledon may bask in tradition, but it's part of today's world and all the sporting implications of the invasion of Ukraine. And Wimbledon is taking a stand. So, while Russia's Daniil Medvedev has been allowed to compete on the tour as an individual, the world number 2 will be barred from Wimbledon. The same applies to Aryna Sabalenka of Belarus, ranked 4 in the women's game. Those are 2 potential champions. There are many other players who will also now be missing. From one of Ukraine's most prominent recent tennis players, this reaction. Alex Dolgopolov says, a big thank you to Wimbledon and UK for stepping up and showing the world an example, what needs to be done to stop this madness.
Kilometres to the west of the city of Gao, France's military withdrawal from Mali continues, as confirmed this Tuesday by the General Staff of France's forces. After Tessalit, Timbuktu and Kidal, Gossi's the 4th base to be returned to Malian forces, known as the FAMA. In an interview with France 24, the spokesperson of France's General Staff said they aim to remove the remaining 2,500 troops by the end of the summer.
The British Prime Minister will face a crucial vote in the House of Commons on Thursday. The lawmakers will decide whether Boris Johnson should be referred for an investigation over his Partygate statements to parliamentarians. This vote is expected to coincide with the Prime Minister's 2-day India visit. He's scheduled for events in the western state of Gujarat, followed by a diplomatic visit to New Delhi. The Commons Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, has now granted a request from the opposition MPs for a vote. The House debated on whether Johnson misled Parliament when he initially said that no rules were broken. as allegations of lockdown-breaching parties quickly escalated into a full-blown Partygate scandal. Last night, Boris Johnson offered an unreserved apology to Parliament and said that he had already changed the way that Number 10 operates. But the opposition leader, Keir Starmer, called Prime Minister's apology a joke and quickly cornered him on misleading claims about not breaking any rules.
Hovering in the shadows of an Arizona state wildfire, these homes are dangerously close to a fast-moving blaze. It's called the tunnel fire, and already it's forced thousands of people near the city of Flagstaff to flee. Dozens of buildings have been destroyed, and firefighters say hundreds of homes could face a similar fate. City leaders are urging people to leave the area and to take their animals with them. Flames as high as 30 meters pushed the fire over a major highway. At one point, the blaze nearly tripled in size, fueled by dry conditions and a wind gust of nearly 50 kilometers an hour.